I'm happy. Joyous, content. I just saw my children dancing in the streets. Friday night, full moon event, full moon weekend beginning. Priestess, Heike, Dragon, Rainbow Dragon. I'm happy, joyous. I just saw youth, 16, 17-year-olds were clustered in the corner safely there and just dancing wildly, having fun. And they looked at me, they smiled, and I smiled. I said, I laughed a bit, and I said, good, I approved. And dancing is my favorite sport. And I said, let my children dance in the streets across the North America, coast to coast, ocean to ocean. So let my children dance in the streets, coast to coast, ocean to ocean, coast to coast, ocean to ocean. And going towards that full moon, we're going to the mountain from my neighborhood. I'm happy, content now. I gotta say, happy, joyous, content. I saw the youth at the corner there, like teenagers dancing, and that gave me so much joy. See their joy, and that's what matters. Now I'm happy. My rent's paid, electricity was paid, financially stressed, but the youth of North America, it's their spiel, their future. We're gonna have to get on that weight here a little bit because the train's gonna pass, so we're just gonna bust the dance move, a little bit of rock and roll for the dance up in the show. Clink, clink, clink. Let my children dance up in the streets, safely, with that safety, in that liberty. Hey, fine as the DGA, Dancing Goddess Empire, DGA, Dancing Goddess, DGA, Dancing Goddess Army. Let's go rock and roll. For the butchers, bakers, nurses, doctors, grocery store clerks, cashier workers, LOV for the train conductors, and those truckers on the road, those in the daycares who change some of those diapers, and joyous. And I'm smiling now. I have a big smile because it's important for me, the youth, to be happy, joyous, and it makes me joyous, happy to see the youth happy, and they're in the corner. And I give permission to people to laugh at me. You know, I'm weird, awkward, and weird with my Asperger's, HFA, high functioning autism, but of course, dancing is more so. I LOV to dance. They were there in the corner dancing, and they saw me, and they busted dance moves, and they saluted, say hello. I say, hey, hello, and love you back. Stay safe, dance freely, and that's about it. Rock and roll with that. And now we're gonna head to the mountain. You know, a special sunset. It's sunset 5:38. So we're gonna go from my neighborhood here, where the youth were dancing over there. So that's joy. I always see joy, and dancing is my favorite sport. So I'm happy now, you know. Now I'm happy. That made my whole day. Give me some energy to go all the way to the mountain to do meditations and to get it on the go here, crossing safely. And that's the moon, actually. That's the moon getting full. It's gonna be 3 days until Monday. So I clean today. You gotta let me pass, buddy. You gotta let me pass, buddy. This is a pedestrian. Turn my head left or right still, but until I get the sign, you know. So that it is what it is. So here we're gonna go all the way to the mountain. All the way to the mountain. Yours truly, independent artist, athlete, philosopher, political, theoretical analyst, and theorist. Probably we're gonna do part 1 and 2, a few minutes here, a few minutes there, and then reach to the top. We'll go all the way, drive it in, and we're going towards that moon. Gonna get rock and roll a little bit. It's rock and roll 24/7 rock and roll. Geopolitics, and you know, starting my day off. Laundry, a little bit of laundry, a little bit of cleaning, a lot of cleaning, a lot of laundry. Check some emails, check if I got some more business, as I'm open for business 24/7, but financially stressed, but grateful, thankful. My rent's paid, electricity bill's paid, and it's getting a bit chilly. And I put those gloves on, and I got food at home. Got food, got some sweets, and that's it for the dough here. And here they built a little bit of a new building and structure for the public to be. For the public to be here, for public, you know. They build these new structures here, and that's how we gotta get doing with the structures that we building in the public, you know. It takes labor, brains, and muscle, so I gotta meditate on the construction workers, but what is the main event today? For me, was those youth having fun and dancing, smiling at me, smiled back, of course, because I love our youth, and you know, for their defense, their future, and us with our more, you know, adult matters and XYZ aside, but it's their joy that matters at the end of the day, their happiness. If they're happy, if they're joyous as they were I was on the march, I didn't stop because, you know, I got through our mountain, and I said I'm not gonna, of course, interfere. It It was from a 5-meter distance, about maybe a little bit more than 5 meters. Like since I was coming off from the bank, from my bank there. I think I was in the minus already, so can I get a little bit of that money anyway? So then I clocked it in and I said, hey, this is it on the clock, and that's how we're gonna drill it with that. And they smiled, and they were dancing there, moving, dance freely, dance wildly, safely on the sidewalks and on the corners, because I want to get on those cars. That's the only concern I have. Their safety, but their joy also. It's liberty and their safety. Safety and their joy is super important to me, and it makes me it makes me happy, man. It makes me joyous. That's what matters to me. The youth are happy. I say my children, but they're not my children officially, but I consider them, in such a familiar way. Like Canadian, Quebecers, North Americans are my family, and Quebecer, Canadians, North Americans are my family, Quebecer, Canadians, North Americans, you're my family. So that is on the rock and roll with that, and that is on the rock and roll with that. And I gotta give them some LOV, and that always brings me joy. When I see they're happy, they were happy there looking with their smartphones and playing some music or recording, and I passed and I said, they smiled, they looked, made a little bit of faces or whatever, so hey. The youth are happy, I'm happy. So I'm gonna go on the happy side all the way to the mountain. That's the full moon. I'm gonna say my gratitude, grateful, thankful my rent paid, electricity bills paid on these steps, and always meditating, always my mind is of course in geopolitics, geopolitical perspective, and geopolitical analysis 24/7, parallel with dancing, sports and fitness. Dancing is my favorite sport, and of course dancing being my favorite sport, parallel to dancing of course is another one, is of course rock and roll for the youth. Let them dance with the hands and the butts and the feet and the hands up in the air and the butts up in the air and the hands up in the air and the faces and the eyes on the blink and the eyes on the blink and the eyes they blink blink blink. On the dance up in the sing, for the full moon, that's the goddess. When I say goddess, some don't really like it, but the goddess got those trillions of those kisses. And Rainbow Dragon got that priestess. 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 Got the Rainbow Dragon with it. Got the Rainbow Dragon, my youth. Whew, that's important. I'm happy. I'm joyous. I'm gonna go to the mountain. Joyous, happy. Come back with the full moon, and tomorrow we're gonna get on that day again, and it's on that Friday. Sabbath begins at midnight. Sabbath of the dancing goddess in the Dragon Kingdom, which of course begins at midnight and ends on Sunday. So it ends Sunday, sunset. So it's about 44 hours, a little bit more. I feel like taking these steps, but at the same time I'm required not to. So gonna go drill it on the side, and maybe gonna pass by the fridge, see how the fridge goes, and gonna meditate, of course. Gonna salute, of course, the truckers, the bakers, those making some sandwiches. I gotta give a shout out, and gotta think about all those who are making a little bit of sandwiches now. Imagine those who are doing a little bit of sandwiches, baking some of those cheeseburgers, cooks, and of course all those who take in the fast food industry. In the fast food industry, So I've been thinking about them, and I admire them, how they are, being able to make hamburgers, make cheeseburgers, make all the food production. They're flipping those burgers, making whatever salads is needed. All the food that they produce, of course, is something which I gotta be on that meditation myself, As I go on the mountain now, and I'm a fan of that. Get some of that red, Gotta give me some of that red with that, and we gotta get it on the go, so. Somebody wearing that red, maybe Dragon Army, you got to do that workout if you're able. A potential public-private partnership, let's go that dancing goddess in the Dragon Kingdom, and gotta get it for that XYZ, but that's happiness, that's joy.
Is it inside the dome?
You're gonna go inside the dome, do a little sports, fitness. And it's sports and fitness 24/7 with your stoolie, 24/7 with your stoolie, That's what it is with that, and that's what it is with X, and that's what it is with XYZ on the sport. And on the fitness, we're gonna go all the way, of course, to the moon. See, moon. I mean, I'm not gonna shoot a rocket to go to the moon, but we're gonna meditate. I just asked. I went to a library, asked if they had something goddess, GODDSS related. I was actually curious. And then I said on the pagan classification of pagan, of course. But, you know, it's that full moon for the next until Monday. So, because if you're a Telemite, non-sectarian, Telemite here, non-sectarian, Telemite, you know, gotta salute the train conductors. Train conductors and those who build the trains. Imagine all the brains, the muscle to build all the trains of North America. Civilization really is a privilege. Civilization really is a privilege, you know. I've written a thesis, presented my thesis to the world back in 2023. The thesis is, of course, entitled The Privilege of Civilization, because, of course, civilization is a privilege. You know, we got the privilege of civilization, including when we get the electricity. Thank you, Hydro-Quebec workers of the 20th century. We need to build some more dams, and, you know, I put in some rock and roll and some steps with it. And here, North Americans Unite, the 24/7 song, and I really believe in my initiatives, my protocols, and my initiatives for the collective North American civilizational complex for North America. As I salute, I'm thinking always now about the truckers, the butchers, the bakers, the doctors, you know, those in the daycares who changed some of those good diapers today, you know. They did a lot of changing of those diapers, you know, by the thousands, 20 millions, and across North American complex. I got LOV, send some rock and roll and LOV to those workers as well for the call of the, and to the North American Collective Workers Party, the call to the, for the North American Collective Workers Party, the call to the, and for the North American Collective Workers Party, this independent, financially struggling Aspie artist, financially struggling Aspie artist, athlete, philosopher, mystic, geopolitical, theoretical, analyst, and theorist. So marks 5 years since I predicted an international conflagration, exactly, and what's happening now, I predicted it back in 2019. I got proof of that work, you know, online, and that's what it is with me, 24/7, rock and roll fitness exercise, and somebody else wearing some of that red. That's good, keep it up with that fitness, and I'm wearing some of that red every day, you know, because I gotta give a shout out to my anonymous friend who got me this scarf. It's red, black and white, auctioning it for $1 million to give my anonymous friend half back. Half of that $1 million, pay my $10,000 debt, pay my $10,000 debt, and I gotta salute the athletes who are coming now. These are athletes. Thank you. Merci. Picking up the garbage, the compost, those are 3 services, please. NFL, National Football League, NHL, National Hockey League, NBA, National Basketball Association, MLB, National Hockey League, and gotta reduce the price of tickets. Please, a call to action to reduce the price of the NFL, National Football League, NHL, National Hockey League, NBA, National Basketball Association, MLB. Please. Reduce by 44.9%, please. Reduce by 44.9%, please. Reduce by 44.9%. The cost of the tickets. A call of the heart from this independent Aspie. Got an HFA, high functioning autism, who loves seeing the joy of the youth and brings me joy. And if I'll be a millionaire, I would go around across North American Collective to give some charity. But here we are, here I am. Financially struggling, but grateful, thankful. My rent's paid my rent, paid my electricity bill, got food. Got a cup of coffee for tomorrow, maybe split it into 2 cups of coffee. Saturday, Sunday. If not, I got a decaf, so I'm good. So I got some decaf left, and that's beautiful. Put enough for that holiday season, and please reduce the cost of the tickets once again. NFL, National Football League, NHL, National Hockey League, NBA, National Basketball Association, MLB, to the public workers, like those who just passed, picking up the garbage, picking up the compost, picking up the recycling, and public sanitation workers across the North American Collective. Please give them a little bit of those free tickets, and generally discount the tickets for the majority of the population by 44.9%, and to the nurses in the public, to the public doctor workers, to the workers of the public sanitation. Please give them some tickets, you know, that's my call. And of course, I would have been a millionaire, I would have distributed a lot of money. If I would have billionaire, I would have wanted give 10%. If I would have billions, I would have went and distributed now across the collective. I would have just went and distributed some of money, 10%. I would have went to random people like homeless, veterans, and homeless people, vets, veterans, the vets, and others in need. Financial story, I said 50,000. Canadian 44,718. This is my redemption to me. I got my second chance. I'm making money because of all of your work in the past 20th century. It takes a little bit out of old school. I'm gonna get it on that go and gotta get it for that new, So it's something which we gotta do and that's what I would have been doing. Would have went to give a little bit of I saw red again. A lot of people wearing red. Hey, pledge your allegiance to our family. Pledge your allegiance to our family. Pledge your allegiance to our family. We gotta get going on that drill. North American Collective Workers Party. We gotta get that union. It's not all about the money. You gotta see some LOV. That children's joy, youth, because they were teenagers' joy. That's good. That's priceless. Of course, you had some public finance, and you got a little bit of that public finance. Of course, the smartphone which they're utilizing, takes a little bit of money to buy it, to purchase it. And of course, they got a little bit of purchase on the money. And they got a little bit of purchase on the money. Somebody else wearing that red. That is what it is with that. And that is with the red. See another red. Hey, that's good. Red it on this Sunday until Sunday. Today's Friday the 15th. It is full moon. So we're gonna jet ourselves to the mountain and back. So it's gonna be a long march, probably about 5 hours again. And yesterday was more than 5 hours. Wednesday was more than 5 hours. Tuesday, so we're gonna clock in. And Monday I think it was like 3 hours and 16 minutes. 3 hours and 16 minutes. 3 hours and 16 minutes. And gotta always give a shout out now, to again those in the fast food now across North America, flipping those burgers. Somebody got a LOV, rock and roll, respect. Flipping those burgers, flipping those cheeseburgers. Gotta be thinking about the public nurses, public doctors. Gotta be thinking about the ambulance driver, firefighters. LOV, hey. LOV to our firefighters. LOV to our firefighters. LOV to our firefighters across the collective. We gotta love them, man. They need some good LOV. It's not all about the money. It's not all about the Wall Street. Please, if you made $1 million today, give 10%. 10% of $1 million is 100,000. Divided by 4. Divided by 4 is 25,000. You can give to 4 different charities. Split it up for food security, LGBTQ issues, and environmental causes. Women's sports. I would have loved to buy Victoire. They came out with the t-shirts of the Victoire. And they came out with the t-shirts of the Victoire. And now the women's sports leagues. And dancing is my favorite sport, but there the truckers got a LOV. LOV for the trucker, for the people up to the garbage. And I just saw the boys and girls in blue. Passing up, hey, ain't nobody perfect, and including the rainbow dragon. Sometimes I'm just clumsy with it. We gotta get reconciliation, and we gotta reconcile. We gotta get that private-public partnership. Centrism. My public-private partnership is a centrist proposition and initiative. It's a centrist public-private partnership initiative, for the individual and the collective. But my DRT brothers and sisters, that's the solution. I mean, you can argue all you want from the left or from the right, but it has to be implemented. Canada first and U.S. North American collective, because we are at a point where we pay so much interest on the money. We have so much debt that it's not sustainable. This has to be done now. Early in the 21st century, we got to implement my DRT protocol, financial protocol. It's a paradox, because I'm financially struggling. I've got to be giving a shout out to an anonymous acquaintance who a few years ago gifted me a book. It was a bit on the conspiratorial side. I'm not much of a conspiracy theorist, but a bit on the conspiratorial side. But it had real financial, economic, commercial knowledge, historical knowledge from ancient Egypt, ancient Persia, ancient Babylon, ancient Rome, the British Empire, and modern day People's Republic of China, founded by Mao Zedong, and People's Republic of China, founded by Mao Zedong, and Canada and US. It reached all the way to the great financial crisis of 2007, 2010, and the book was published in 2009. So here's the community fridge. It's got to be kept. I wish I could fill it up. Maybe when I come back, there's something in it. I'm not going to take it. See, some people put some food, some soups. So I got everything I need at home, but see, there's some food there if you want. So it's a community fridge, so people put there and you can serve yourself, and that's what's nice about it. So here also you got a sunshine pantry. So I wish I could fill it up, but see, you got the sunshine pantry there, and there you go. People put a little bit of that sunshine. I actually love sunshine. You know, the sun is my Bob the King, but there it is. You have the sunshine food pantry. Sometimes it's full, sometimes it's half full, sometimes it's a little bit, and sometimes there's a little bit in there. So you got the fridge here in NDG, my neighborhood here in the corner. So by the full moon, let's go circumvent by the sides, and we're gonna drop it in all the way to the mountain and discuss the DRT. As we go to the mountain, we're gonna come back, and we're gonna rock and roll with that. And now that I'm on the DRT topic and inside the fridge, I'm gonna discuss it a little bit. I'm gonna discuss it early in, but once again, I gotta give a shout out to the truckers on the road, truckers on the road, truckers on the road, the truckers on the road, the bakers, the butchers, the nurses, railroad conductors, ambulance drivers, firefighters, LOV, those who making flipping some burgers, cheeseburgers. It's dark clock, that means it's 6 o'clock. Already dark because we changed that hours, and the days are dropping, but it's 6 o'clock now. It's 6 o'clock now. It's 6 o'clock now. It's 6 o'clock now. So that's what it is with that. That's what it is with that. And we gotta get it for the youth, you know, and the implementation of my theories. Yeah, the solution. There's no other solution, my brothers and sisters. I mean, you can argue all you want, and why that I will, but now where we are, there's no other solution but the DRT that I can say to you clearly and without any equivocation that the DRT, that refusion theory, is the only solution now where we are. As in this point in time, we have reached, as I'm heading up north now, I'm going north on the Hawk Island, Montreal, aka 2.5 million people, second most populated city in Montreal. Second most populated. It was first for a long time in Canada. Now it's the second in Canada until 2007. 2009, I think it was still first. Afterwards, Toronto became the most populated in the past decade, in the past 15 years or so. And of course, in 1931, Montreal had already a million. In 1931, Montreal had already a million. Montreal had already a million. In 1931, Montreal was already a million. 1931, maybe even before, from the best of my knowledge. Anyways, got to double check, and it's in the top 10 most populated cities in North America. In North America, I think it's 7th or 8th. There's that moon. Gotta give kisses for the goddess. You say that I sing it. Sing it for the melody, sing it for that you can see, sing it for the nurses and the butchers and the bakers and the nurses and the doctors and the truckers. I am perfect, I got that ass beat. I'm a weirdo. I don't fit in many boxes. I'd rather just be fur like a hawk. Look at that red, and it's turning into green. Providence for the DJ, Dancing Goddess Army, that North American Integrate Dance League. The official color is green with the Dragon Army. Official color of the North American Citizen Integrated Security and Service Force that I'm calling for the establishment thereof ASAP. It's the Dragon Army, red, public-private partnership. That's what I'm calling for. And hey, gotta give a shout out some LOV. Public workers, hey, public workers, man. Public workers. Gotta get it on that public workers. Hey, gotta salute the public workers. Let me do a little bit of homage, a little bit of salutations, you know. A little bit of that rock and roll rainbow dragon who's an aspie millennial. It takes a little bit of that old school, the new school, takes the god and the goddess, takes the black and the white and the rainbow, takes the black and the, my brothers and sisters, blacks, you know. You gotta get that LOV and put on the table what I put for everybody else. Kisses by the tree. It's that I got, and we gotta get that circumvision, you know. We gotta work together, and the way that is the full moon today, you know, full moon. on the full moon, kind of go a little bit out wild on the mountain, and we got to be meditating on that. And my brothers and sisters, of course, who are blacks, 13.3% of the population, my neighbors included. We sometimes, we have in ourselves subconscious, and we might have lived certain experiences with certain individual, and we tend to associate or make association, maybe sometimes subconscious, on the XYZ side, just because I was surprised attacked in the past and in my head by gangsters, and it was, whatever the case may be, black or whatever, that doesn't mean that my black brothers and sisters are out to get me, or vice versa, that if somebody who was black was attacked by a white racist guy or girl, whatever, that doesn't mean that all whites. There's lots of loving, there's a lot of interracial loving tonight going on, a lot of interracial loving going on tonight, a lot of interracial, I love you, black, white, and rainbow, if you're a black man, black woman, you want some rainbow love, hey. I got trillions of kisses on the table, so dancing kisses, and yeah, that's how I work to fight racism, more by action. Maybe it's an Aspie thing, being Aspie, high functioning autistic, being that I'm part of a minority who's 0.44% of a population, 0.44% estimated, less than half of a percentile, less than 1%, so less than 1 out of 300 has this neurological mental divergent condition known as Asperger's, which is not a mental illness. It's not a mental illness. It's not a mental illness. Asperger's is not a mental illness. HFA is not a mental illness. It's a neurological mental divergent condition, which makes me an Aspies. I'm speaking myself as an Aspie individual, of course. I do not pronounce myself for the whole Aspie community in any way, shape, or form whatsoever, Only for myself as an individual, That's how it is, and that's how we're gonna go with that. And that's how we go drilling with that, And that's how we're gonna go do it. And here we're gonna go towards the moon, and that's how we're gonna go do it with that. And they get it on the go, to get it on the doing. And my fellow citizens there, I just got a little bit of that autistic mannerisms and Aspie symptoms, which of course I gotta get doing on the go with that. So it's always something which I gotta work on my symptoms such as, of course, staring at people, staring at people is an Aspie symptoms, staring at people, repeating things twice, 3 times, and being obsessed about certain, of course, topics. Obsessive interest. Being obsessed about certain topics, obsessive interest is my topic, is one of our symptoms, because there's no medication for people with Asperger's, Aspies like myself, those who have HFA, high-functioning autistics. There's only management of the symptoms by taking action, being aware that we have neurological, psychic, and mental divergence, and when we communicate, when we interact with others, we have to be fully aware and let people know what are the symptoms, because we can be intense, especially when we discuss those obsessive interests. And my trinity of obsessive interests, geopolitics 24/7. I can discuss about geopolitics for hours and hours and hours, the whole day. Dancing, I can dance for hours. Sports, fitness, dancing being my favorite sport. Dancing being my favorite sport. Dancing being my favorite sport. Parallel to dancing is, of course, rock and roll. That's my main obsession. So that's 24/7 with us. And medication is not a mental illness, so there's no medication for it. It's just being aware, working on the symptoms. And we have clumsiness. We have a symptom called echolalia. Echolalia is, of course, something which affects many Aspies, including myself. It is repeating the exact same sentence or paragraph that a certain person has uttered, and also utilizing much sophisticated intellectual, academic, scholarly, and verbose linguistic language and language composition, which is not necessarily required for the point of presentation in the discussion or discussing in detail whatever we're discussing. Another red. That's it is what it is. So that's another red. We're gonna go to the mountain on that red. Red was what I said for the truckers, those butchers. Hey, butching up some of that good. For you know that they be should. For the love, and for the love, and for the butchers, for the bakers, they be loving, that's the truckers. Truckers on the road, and I gotta be a holla bit. I gotta give a little bit of the salutation, because I said we're gonna pay some homage, some tribute. You're not gonna say some tribute to the workers, public workers of the 20th century. Public workers, including Hydro-Quebec, as they build the dams, and all those who build the power sources. Hydroelectric dams here in Quebec, 63 of them. All the power plants across North America, across Canada. For us to have electricity and lights. For the aqueducts builders, the public workers, who picked up the garbage sanitation collectors, who built all the underneath, all those layers so that we have public toiletry and sewage systems. Imagine all that labor. Dragon versus Trump edition. Marry me, anonymous sister friend edition. Gonna propose again. Marry me, anonymous sister friend edition. Marry me, anonymous sister friend edition. Marry me, anonymous sister friend edition. Open BDSM switch marriage. Oh, this smells so good. This smells so good. You know, edition on pledge your allegiance, thou art family. Pledge your allegiance, thou art family. Pledge your allegiance, thou art family. That's the rock and roll song 24/7. And friends with benefits only from now on. That's what's gonna go on. And support the dream of Adrian Hannah Dragons. Rainbow Dragon is that priestess. Hannah. HNH. Keep my name out of your mouth. Keep my holy, sacred, divine name out of your mouth if it's not for a blessing. Hope we got an understanding. Hello, V. Kisses, hugs, tickles. Hope we got an understanding. And that's what it is with that. And that's what it is for the full moon. And here we're going to go with the XYZ. And that's what we're going to get doing on that meditation, man. And see where there's a light, there's a shadow. See where there's a light, there's a shadow. See where there's a light, there's a shadow. And I'm going to be thinking about the truckers now on the road. Across Canada, US, Mexico, across North America. How many are going with milk in it, bacon in it, bread in it, lettuce in it, eggs in it, diapers in it, cheese in it, wine in it, soft drinks in it, grapes, my favorite fruit in it. Sausages, all those goods also that we consume. There's a real number now. Across North America, the truckers are going east, west, north, south. Gotta give them some LOVE. Friday night, strippers, give them a discount. Give them a discount. A discount. You want free lap dance. I would own a strip club. I would own a LGBTQ friendly Rainbow Dragons priestesses Hannah's joint. Too long of a name, I guess. Rainbow Dragons joint. Where Priestess Hannah dances. Nonetheless, give them a little bit of free drinks. Whatever the case may be. A little bit of discount, you know. A little bit of a discount. A discount if they come, I guess. It's Friday night, so as I go towards the moon, I'm going to my second home, that mountain, Mount Royal, on this full moon event. Because we haven't been all week, and I'm missing my second home. That's my second home, the mountain. I haven't been all week, so I'm gonna set it on that go, you know. So super important to get it on the drill. I just wanna see something there. I just want to show you something. It's not visible because it's dark. Because these are chairs here that I will to paint. But they're not visible now. So I will to paint all the public, you know. All the public chairs which exist. I will to paint them. Public chairs, public benches, just bring me the tools, the permission. I start on Mount Royal, but it's not that visible over there. Not that visible. Anyways, we're gonna interject and head to the mountain to discuss my DRT theory. Super important to discuss my DRT theories, and heading now to the mountain and gonna get it clocked in and reach the top, and that's gonna be it with that. So towards the sunset. The sunset is past already, but now it's every second now. Thinking about that, there's a sunrise and a sunset. So now there's a sunset and a sunrise. Now there's a sunset and a sunrise. So now at this point in time, there's a sunrise and a sunset. Actually, since we heard the clocks for that 6 o'clock p.m. EST, that means that we gotta subtract 3 hours and get that Western Standard Time for BC, British Columbia, BC, Vancouver. My second favorite city, San Francisco. About those Niners, give some charity. Tonight. I would have loved to attend a dance before. Mike Tyson, Jake Paul. Big fight. My only call is whatever you guys are gonna make some millions, please give 10%. Go incognito. Go with a hoodie. Go get dirty. Go across North America. Give a little bit of that charity. Just 50,000 to somebody. Just give 50,000 to somebody. Just give 50,000 to somebody. Just give 50,000 to somebody. 50,000.